Hello and welcome everybody. It is day 2 of our Wicked Games Facebook Lives that we're doing in here in Villain. And I have a different view on my computer today, so I'm just trying to see if I can see the comments. There they are. Okay. Welcome. So hide and seek. Yesterday we played Two Truths and a Lie. We had a lot of fun with that, and hopefully you got to hear my two truths and a lie. I'm going to be revealing what the lie was for you today. We had a few other people play in the comments, Two Truths and a Lie, so you can go back and you can view those truths and lies from other people as well and take your best guess. I still need to go back and guess on Ever's Two Truths and a Lie. Okay, so today we're going to be playing hide and seek. And before we get started with playing hide and seek, I want to just take a moment because I think it's really important. So in the spirit of hide and seek and revealing myself, I'm going to reveal myself, and this is part of actually the negotiation that I made with a demon that came to me in my dreams last night, and I can tell you more about that story later. I see that there are 2 people watching. I'd love it if you said hi so I know who you are and we can have a conversation. That would be lovely. So I'm just going to reveal a little bit something about myself. I have a lot of trickster energy. I have a lot of kind of Mercury energy, fox energy, magpie energy. And one of the demons that I have is a demon that likes to steal things. And I just love to steal things from other people. However, that doesn't always go over very well. So what I do instead, and what I've been trying to do now, is to credit folks. So here's what I mean by that. First of all, many of the things that we're teaching, many of the things that my colleagues are teaching, they're based in ancient traditions and ancient wisdom. It's been around for a really long time. There are some people that have some sort of like spins on it, and that's wonderful. But I'm very heavily influenced by the other people that are in my sphere. And I'm a manifesting generator, so that happens with me. I'm very easily influenced and heavily influenced. And I like being influenced, and that's part of who I am, and that's part of how I roll. So rather than just outright pretending like any of my work is any of my ideas, I would like to just give gratitude and give thanks, because none of anything that I do is my idea. It's ideas that have come in and have influenced me, and I've integrated them, and they may come out a little bit different. They may sound a little bit different, but none of this is mine. So I just want to take a moment, and I just want to give a shout out to some really amazing special witches. And again, if you're watching, please just say hi so I know that you're here, and I can say hi to you. So I'm going to take a minute to give a shout out to some amazing witches that definitely have influenced me, and magicians, dreamers, who have influenced me, especially over the last year, and especially as I've been developing kind of my own take on dream work, and especially as I've been coming to understand trauma and the nervous system and demon work and all of the things that are included on the left-hand path. So the first witch that I want to give a shout out to is Daniela Pintalut. She just changed her Facebook handle to Daniela Ze Adora, and so you'll find her there. She is first of all, I want to credit her with basically telling me about 20 years ago, you're a witch, right? And that's where it starts, but that's not where it ends. Daniela and I have been collaborators on, we collaborate in this group. She's my co-host for Villain. And so you met Daniela when we first opened this container. called Villain, and we had, of course, a villain experience, a 3-day workshop that Daniela and I co-hosted together. And then, of course, we just wrapped up Lust, and we'll be doing another cohort of Lust and Villain again in the new year, in 2022. I want to also say that Daniela is also known as the Pleasure Witch, and she actually has a book coming out tomorrow on the full moon called The Little Book of Sacred Self-Pleasure. If I have that title wrong, I apologize, but that's what I remember it being. And I would so go to gobble up that book if I were you. The next person, the next magician that I would like to give a shout out to is Indigo Esmond. Indigo is not in the Villain group, but I think you can find them pretty easily on Facebook and especially on Instagram. You can find them at Daydream and Associates. And they are now running something or opening something up called Pretend Art School. Indigo was very influential and continues to be very influential in my work because of their commitment to turning things upside down, to failing, and to always wondering, you know, when things feel wrong, like how is this something that I can play with and experiment with. Who else? Right, so obviously Malachi Rose, an important, influential magician in my life as well. Malachi is going to be doing the Die a Living Death funeral workshop at the end of Wicked Games. Their Reaper magic is phenomenal. Their work with grief is revolutionary. So definitely check them out. I'm pretty sure they're here in Villain, and also you can find them on Instagram. I believe the handle is Malachi Rose. I'll drop all of these links into the comments section so you can go and find them. And then I want to shout out to Natalia Strojka, who I'm pretty sure is also in Villain. Holly's here, Shane's here. Welcome everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Natalia is an existential game maker, and Natalia, I really want to share, and I will share this link because Natalia put out a newsletter recently called Existential Hide and Seek, and I think it informs a bit, well, I know it informs a bit what I'm going to be doing with hide and seek today, so I'll definitely drop that. Natalia has these ludic, and it's Ludic, not lucid, ludic liberation labs that are so fun to be a part of. So check out Natalia's work as well. And then the last shout out I want to give is to Anna Bellissima. Anna is the one who introduced me to Ramsey Duke's Little Book of Demons, and just like captured my attention with demon work. Anna has a Facebook group called Magic School and runs some amazing programs. She's also a phenomenally talented copywriter, so check her work out as well. Okay, so those are all the shout outs that I want to give. I want to just make sure, Holly and Shane, if you can hear me. I did a mic test and I think I'm pretty good, but I just want to make sure you can hear me. I assume you can since you're still here. Okay, so yesterday we did Two Truths and a Lie, and we talked also about the kind of the bones of the program, and I gave you an overview of the program, what's included in the program. And then I also talked about the benefits of the program, which is to say that I talked about how I don't really have, there are no benefits in the program. And I just want to clarify a little bit. I was being a little bit, I get so tired of sort of seeing the same things over and over again, right? Like the benefit of this program is that you'll get rich, or the benefit of this program is you'll find the love of your life. I can't guarantee that's going to happen. And also, I think that in some cases, the journey is the value and not necessarily the benefit. That being said, I was taking a walk today and I realized that I would be remiss if I do not mention that one of the benefits of this program this program is designed to give you, is an increased capacity for empathy, especially self-empathy. So that is a benefit that you definitely will receive, is an increased capacity for empathy, especially self-empathy. And also at the same time, we're going to be increasing our ability to hold sensation within the body. So oftentimes what happens is we have sensations that we feel that come up in the body, and oh great, Holly can hear me and Shane can hear me. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So happy. Let me know if you have any questions or you have any comments along the way, okay? So oftentimes we feel sensations in the body, and because these sensations are too big for our nervous system, we can go out of our window of tolerance, and that's usually when we go into fight, flight, freeze, or fawn. Those are our trauma responses. And so as we increase our ability to feel sensation in our body, we can stay more present, which means we can have more of a capacity to hold empathy and compassion. So that's what we're working with. We're working with the nervous system, and we're doing it within a container that has empathy, that works with the body, with the somatics of the body, in an intentional way. And we're doing it with play, and we're doing it with magic, meaning that we're creating certain containers in order to influence the waking dream or influence our nervous system. So those are the four components of the program, is that we're working with somatics, we're working with the sensations in the body and the nervous system, we're working with empathy, developing our ability to have more empathy, we're working with play, we're working on we're creating a playful container that actually does have quite a bit of depth, but we're using play as a way to help to regulate the nervous system so that it doesn't feel violative or like a violation in any way, which sometimes some of these containers that are specifically created to have high sensation can, for some folks, especially people who have CPTSD, can feel like a violation. So we're using play to help mitigate any kind of feelings of that we can associate with violation, and we're learning the language. We're learning our body language so that we can know when to when we have a red, when we have a yellow, and when we have a green. Right, when we need to stop, when we need to proceed with caution, maybe do a check-in with ourselves, and then when it's a go, when we're totally present and in the game. So those are the components of the program. What we're going to be working with in the program, so that we can develop this capacity to have more empathy, especially more self-empathy, and we can work with our nervous system, even if we are still unwinding some of the CPTSD or some of the trauma responses that we have. Everybody has, especially since we've been through a year and a half of the pandemic. So we're gonna play with that with our system. Alrighty. Yeah, and we're going to do that by playing with our inner demons and talking to our inner demons through our body and through our dreams. So first, before we do that, before we talk to our demons, we have to find them. So that's why we're playing hide and seek today. So before we do hide and seek, let's do our embodied check-in. We're going to do an embodied check-in every day during our time together in Wicked Games. So yesterday we did a pretty thorough embodied check-in. We're going to do one that's a little bit quicker and has a little bit of a different element to it. Again, as we go through the program of Wicked Games, we'll be learning the language of our body a little more thoroughly. So it's also sort of a language lesson, so that we can be able to speak to our bodies. So if you want to get into a position that is comfortable for you so that you can check in with your body, and if you want to close your eyes, I love closing my eyes because, especially for what we're going to do right here, I'm going to ask you to engage your imagination. I got to find that Albert Einstein quote, but basically it starts with imagination is more important than knowledge. In this particular day and age, Western culture, we really value knowledge, we really value intellect, we really value meaning, and also at the same time, we've started to devalue our imagination and our dreams. So let's just choose to value our imagination, our waking dream. We're going to play with our imagination today. So we're going to use the breath. The breath is our portal into being able to speak with our body. So we'll take 3 deep breaths, deep, full, slow breaths. And as you take these breaths, just imagine yourself turning your gaze inward. All right. So we're going to go find some demons. First of all, feel your feet on the earth. Feel the crown of your head connected to the sky. And imagine yourself surrounded by a grid of energy. And this grid of energy completely and totally protects you. May all those who wish to do you or your loved ones or me or my loved ones any harm find their doors and gates and pathways closed. The demons we seek today are our internal demons, our inner demons, and we know that they are devoted to us. We are safe. We are safe. And again, you can check in with your own internal system of red, yellow, and green. If at any point you feel a yellow or a red, just stop, open your eyes, look around your surroundings, remind yourself that you're safe. And if you're a green, just continue to follow in this practice. In this imaginal realm where you're completely and totally safe. Now think of a situation that feels irksome to you. It feels like you're stuck. It's irritable. You feel irritable about it. You feel a big sense of don't like. I don't like this situation. And as you think of that situation, that don't like situation, notice what gets activated in your body when you think of that situation. You don't need to make any meaning of that. We're just noticing what gets activated. Just like yesterday, we're receiving the sensations in our body. So maybe it's your head that gets activated, or your heart space. Maybe it's your feet or your hands. What body part or parts, when you think of this don't like situation, what body part or parts become active? Or you may notice that there are body parts or a body part that goes numb and gets disconnected. Now, as you identify that part, ask the part, are you, my inner demon, connected to this don't like situation? You may hear a yes. You may hear a no. You may not hear anything. You may feel a different sensation in your body. Remember empathy. Empathy for yourself and empathy for your inner demon, which is a part of yourself as well. You can even tell your demon, I come in peace. I want to know you better. It may or may not be willing to talk right now, and that's okay. It may be telling you red, yellow, or green as well. All right, so for now, we're just going to thank this part. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for speaking with us or for just holding space for our attention. Thank you for sharing space with us. And then as you're ready, you can begin to open your eyes slowly. And again, take a look around your room and just remind yourself where you are in time and space. And if you can, find something that looks, that feels, that is a source of nourishment for you. Maybe it looks beautiful, or maybe it has a feeling of security for you, or it's something that you like. And just let your eyes rest there. Okay, so I would love to know what came up for you, what part of the body spoke to you, if that was what your don't like situation was, and if that was your inner demon that was speaking with you or that was in that sensation. So just let me know in the comments, whether you're watching right now or whether you're watching later. Let me know in the comments, what was your don't like situation, and what was it like to speak to that sensation? And was that your inner demon that was associated with this don't like situation? Was it willing to talk to you? So in Wicca Games, that's one of the things that we're going to do is we're going to use the body to be able to locate these demons and to be able to talk to them, because they do reside in our subconscious. So we're going to use dreams and we're going to use the body to be able to talk to them. Before I keep going, I did promise you that I would reveal 2 truths and a lie. I would reveal the lie from yesterday. So the 2 truths and a lie yesterday were, number 1, that the best sex I've ever had was in a church. Number 2, that I founded a collaborative performance group called Viva La Vulva. And number 3, that I had a boot camp that was specifically designed for creating more play and fun in my life. And the lie is, which most people guessed, is that the best sex I've ever had in my life was in a church. It wasn't the best, but it was adventurous. So that is my lie. And let's just check to see, no comments so far other than the ones that we already had. So please, if you've got any questions or you've got anything that you want to share with us, feel free to drop them in the comments. Okay, let me just check my notes and make sure that I have said everything that I want to say so far. Oh, right. Okay. You know, I'm not sure if okay, I'm going to tell the story very briefly. I was going to tell you this story. I kind of teased you with it earlier. I had a dream last night. And in the dream, I was in a room with a man and with another woman. And the woman I had I went to college with, and the man I didn't know. And we were all like having fun together. We were kind of cuddling together. And then I noticed in the dream, I'm going to actually start speaking in the present tense because I encourage you to speak in the present tense when you're telling your dreams. So in the dream, at one point, I know as we're all cuddling with one another, at one point I noticed that the man and the woman, the other woman that was there, or that is there, they're actually beginning to engage in different things of a sexual nature. And as I notice that, I start to feel very kind of like the third wheel, and I decide that I want to go. So I start to gather my things. And as I'm gathering my things, the woman also decides that she wants to go. She wants to leave with me. And he's trying to convince her to stay. And he's like, holding on to her. And he's kind of continuing to be physically affectionate towards her. And he's basically trying to get her to acquiesce. And at some point, I step between the two of them and I say, "She said no." And I get up in his face. That's a departure for me in my dreams. So I definitely wanted to pay attention to that. The other aspect of this dream is that before I went to sleep, I asked my dreams, I said, what is the thing that is getting in the way? What's the demon that is getting in the way to having as many witches and magicians in this program as I want to have? And this is the dream that I had. So I did a little bit of work with this inner demon, and for now I'm going to call it my violation demon. And this morning I found it in my body. I started to talk to it, and I don't quite have our negotiations fully fleshed out, because as I was working with this violation demon, it was difficult for me to stay in empathy for myself and for the demon. And also it was difficult for me to not start to go out of my window of tolerance and out of my body. So I knew that for me, that was my yellow, right? Like I was getting a yellow sign that was like, go slowly with this. Don't just like dive in and kind of like balls to the wall, go for it. I needed to go slowly. So I dipped back in a meditation later today as well. I'll keep dipping back in. I'll keep having these talks, and I'll keep listening to my nervous system. But essentially what I found out from this demon is that this demon loves to convince me that if I'm visible and magnetic and attractive, that something bad will happen to me. I'll be violated. Something bad will happen to me. So what this demon wants also is, it's more of what it doesn't want. It doesn't want to be responsible. So that's what I have so far. And I'm still working with this inner demon to be able to negotiate with it, because I do want to be visible. I want to be visible. I want my work to be out there. I'm dedicated and devoted to working with the subconscious, working with the waking dream, influencing the waking dream through dream work, through demon work, through all of these other different magical practices that I do. And so I definitely want to be visible. So we are, this inner demon and I now are engaging in what I'm calling kinky couples counseling. And we'll find some games to play, some experiments to do. And we're going to start, what we've started with is hide and seek, right? Like I found the demon. And so now we're going to start to play some games together. And I'm going to keep listening to that red, yellow, and green within my nervous system that tells me, hey, slow down, stop completely, keep going. Okay, let me know if you have any questions about that. So I wanted to share that story and just give you sort of an example of like how we're going to go about this within the program. Holly, you said that your demon is anxiety and you feel it in your stomach. Yes. Okay, so tell me, I wonder what that feels like in your stomach. What does that particular demon in your stomach feel like? I would love to know. And like description words are really helpful, I think, and even images, I think really, I mean, that's how our dreams speak to us. It really speaks to us with our subconscious using images. So You know, do you feel butterflies in your stomach? Do you feel like someone is wringing out a rag inside your stomach? Like, what do you feel in your stomach? I would be very curious about that. And while you answer that, I'm going to take a drink and I'm going to look at my notes. Oh, okay. So for some of us, we also need to go find our dreams, right? I'm a dream witch, and so inevitably, when I talk to folks about working with dreams, I will hear the lament that people don't remember their dreams. I don't remember my dreams, or sometimes I hear people say, "I don't dream." You do dream, you just don't remember your dreams. So we can get that out of the way right there. So we do need to go find our dreams too, right? I'm going to have a lengthier video as part of the program, but just very quickly, my top three tips for remembering your dreams. Number one, don't move. That's my number one tip. Don't move. So in the morning when you wake up, or anytime you wake up from a dream, don't move. As soon as you move, you start to lose the dream. And in that space where you're not moving, tell the dream back to yourself. That is by far the tip that most people report back to me is a game changer. So pretty easy right there. And then I've got many, many, many other tips for you within the group and within the program for remembering your dreams. But that's my number one dream is don't move. So again, when you wake up from your dream, when you wake up in the morning, just pause and tell the dream back to yourself. You, of course, obviously want to have something next to your bed to record your dreams as well. You can record them however you want to. But essentially, the more time that passes between when you wake up from a dream and when you record the dream, the less you will remember. And especially when movement isn't involved. There's something about getting the body moving and the mind kind of jumping right back into the to-do list or the task list or the worrying for the day. Now, Holly, I know that you're a new mom, so you might be really struggling with sleep right now. And when we're struggling with sleep, we are going to necessarily be struggling to remember our dreams. It just pretty much goes hand in hand, whether you're a new mom or whether you just have insomnia and you struggle with sleep anyway. So what I tell people that are struggling to get a good night's rest, be willing to work with anything as if it is a dream. So be willing to work with fragments of dreams. So if you only remember a little snippet of a dream, be willing to work with past dreams, be willing to work with other people's dreams as if they are your own, and be willing to work with waking life as if it is a dream. So there's really kind of no excuse for not doing dream work if you take that into account and you're willing to work with anything as if it was a dream. Let me know if you have any questions about that. Yeah, definitely not getting asleep. Yeah, I remember those days. Yeah. So it's going to be a little while, I think, before you get into any kind of pattern of regular sleep. Like, I don't know, maybe 5 years, 6 years, something like that. Sorry to say. Okay, well, that pretty much covers everything that I wanted to talk about today. We're just talking about the hide and seek part, so obviously this is just a short. We're doing hide and seek the first full week of the program, so we're going to be going more and more into how to talk to our demons, how to figure out what they want, how to negotiate with them. We'll get into the gameplay. I'll start talking about the gameplay and how we're going to set up those containers tomorrow, because tomorrow we're going to be talking about Truth or Dare. Our game is Truth or Dare. I'll be talking more in the first week of the program about working with your dreams, like just sort of like the basics of dream work, so that you can kind of get that under your belt and you can start to see how the dream work and the demon work are connected with one another. The second week of the program is what we're going to be talking about tomorrow. It's Truth or Dare. It's setting up these play containers using some principles of kink play, BDSM play. So we'll be talking about how we get into those containers and start playing with our demons. And I'm going to tell you about that. And then tomorrow, during our Truth or Dare session, which is at 3 o'clock Central again tomorrow. That's going to be the second week of the program. We're going to take a little detour on Thursday because Malachi Rose is going to join us, and they're going to talk about their magic with grief magic and the Die a Living Death funeral, and why this grief magic is attached to this particular program, or is at the end of this particular program. And then Friday we're going to be talking about pretend or role playing, and then Saturday we're going to be talking about the drop, and I'll explain. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and explain a little bit about what I mean by the drop, and then we'll talk more about it on Saturday. So remember I was telling you about the red, green, and yellow, or red, yellow, and green. And you can come up with any kind of system that you want that basically is a continual check-in of where you are in your nervous system. Do you need to stop? Do you need to pause and check in? Are you good to go? So what happens is when we expand our nervous system, we expand our capacity to be able to hold more sensations. Once we have gone through that expansion, we can oftentimes feel a drop. Some people call this contraction as well, and it's not the most pleasant feeling in the world. And this is the place where we really need a lot of empathy, and we need a lot of exquisite self-care. And we can go, and this is what kink and BDSM containers do, is that they set up a system of aftercare for the drop. And so you can experience the drop after you've had, basically after you've expanded your nervous system, whether you're the dom, the sub, whether you're experiencing pain, whether you're giving pain, whatever it is that you're doing. And so we can take the principles of kink and BDSM, and we can apply those to anything that we do. So, after I finish promoting this particular program, I'm going to feel a drop. Holly, you may have noticed after you had your baby, you felt a drop, right? Because you felt, because you carried this baby in you for 9 months, and then you had the baby, and then like there's this letdown, drop, contraction right after that happens, because it's a big deal. It's a big transition. It's a big life event to have a baby. I'm curious if you felt that. I know I felt that for sure, and I felt that after I got married. I feel that when programs close. I feel that after I've gone to trainings and I've been on retreats, all kinds of situations in which I've felt a drop. Even sometimes after you go like on a first date, you can feel a drop after that. So it's like this high adrenaline where you are in the container and you're being present for the container, and then you feel this drop. So we're going to be learning the basics of aftercare, and we're going to be applying them in this situation as well. We'll talk more about that drop on Saturday. Kind of like lava in my stomach. Ooh, that is a good description, Holly. And yeah, not getting enough sleep, I know. It is a big letdown, right? Yeah, it's just such an interesting, and sometimes words don't really adequately describe what's going on, and I know that can feel really frustrating for people, which is why I feel like images can be really helpful. Just describing the images that we see in our mind's eye and our imagination, because that drop is a little bit difficult to describe. What it's like to have a human being on the inside of your body, and then what it's like to have that same human being now on the outside of your body. It's a very interesting feeling. And there's grief that goes along with it too. I remember being really like flabbergasted that like one day I'm not a mom, and then the next day I am a mom. It's just kind of mind-blowing, right? Alrighty, so that's what's coming up for the rest of the week. The program, Wicked Games, it starts on October 25th. That's next Monday. It's going to be a series of emails coming to you in your inbox. It's going to be 1 or 2 prompts or tasks for you to do. It shouldn't take any more than about 15 minutes a day unless you want it to take longer, and I highly encourage you to take as long as you want to take with it, to do as much as you want. Just pay attention to the red, yellow, green. We will also have within that container, within that 28 days, we're going to have 3 dream circles where we get to come and share dreams together. We're going to have a forum on Mighty Networks where we can continue to share with each other the prompts from the day or our reactions to it, how we're feeling. We can share dreams in there. And then we're going to wrap up the program with Malachi Rose's workshop, Die a Living Death Funeral, which is amazing magic. I hope you will join us on Thursday to hear them talk about that. The exchange for this program is $266, and you can find more details about the program and you can register for it at the link that I will put in the comments of this video. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you, Holly. Thank you, Shane, for being here. Everybody who watches this later, feel free to comment and to ask any questions that you might have about the program or anything that I said in here. I'm happy to get back to you. And I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.